Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
We are the RC Sailors, and in this video we're reviewing another glider on our channel. This is the second glider to come to our channel, and the first foamy.
This is Popeye!
Popeye came over to say hi. We're reviewing the ASW 28 RC foam glider. This is a $90 foam, EPO foam, receiver ready glider. It's 78.7 inch wingspan, means that this thing should have fairly long flight times, and that's what excited me most. And actually, the right, yeah, that's good. She's got it. Okay, the most standout feature for me, just by the looks of this plane, or the wingtips. I love that they come up at the end like that. It just looks really cool while gliding, and it does affect the flight performance, but it just looks awesome. A couple different things that I want to point out before we really get into this. This glider does come with the decals off. All of those purple lines and numbers that you see all over the plane itself do not come on the glider. I put those on, but they do come with the glider. So if you're the type of person that likes to customize your own plane, then you don't have to have those stickers on there. I like the way it looks though, so I put mine on. It was easy to do. From start to finish, because this does come receiver ready, it took me probably about 30 minutes to get it ready.
Awesome.
It was really quick. I had to attach the elevator back here and the push rod to the little connector.
That's
and
so big.
just a couple other things. Part of that time actually included my switching over the battery connector. I think it came with a banana plug. I don't like those very much at all. I like Dean's. So I switched over from banana plug to Dean's on my...
It's like one of those quarter machines.
Yeah.
Is there
Oh,
closer?
nice. Gosh. So I switched over to a Dean's. This glider is, as I said in the title there, it's an EPO foam. It's fairly durable, which is nice, especially for $90, and it has a folding prop. This is great. Mine came with the motor brake already on, so it kind of extends the flight times as you're gliding. That prop just folds right in, and you know, it looks cooler while gliding, and it has less resistance. That's a 10x6 folding prop. It's fairly common size, but if you do happen to break one ever, I think it's like $5 or so to replace. Also, on landings, it folds in, so it helps preserve your prop when you're landing in the grass.
Because there's no landing gear on
Right.
these types of planes.
Yes.
So they have to go down smoothly, and if props in the way, then it's gonna snap.
That's our second glider on the channel. It's our first foamy glider ever, especially of this size. And I was worried a little bit about the durability, but I love flying this plane. It's very peaceful to fly, and it has pretty good flight time for the battery size that's suggested for it. It doesn't come with a battery. It does not come with a receiver or a transmitter, and you'll need a charger for your battery. But if you have those things, again, this is only $90. It recommends using a 1200 milliamp 2-cell, I think, LiPo battery. And I got about an 18-minute flight time on that. When it shuts off, when you run out of juice in the air, you still have control over your elevator and rudder. Some planes don't do that, and actually this plane has ailerons. So not only do you have elevator and rudder control with this glider, but you have two individual wing installed ailerons. They're right up here, and then your ailerons plug into a Y harness into your receiver. They feed right through, and then your wing is held together with a carbon bar. It's a support beam. Very interestingly to me, and hopefully to some of you guys, I'd never seen anything like this. Once your carbon bar is in here for the support, I thought, man, I wonder what holds that together. Is tape? You have to tape it every time you fly, but as it turns out, there's a screw here on the bottom of the wing. And I have just a little battery operated screwdriver I bring with me on the field, and I use that to tighten this down, and that holds, there's a little clamp in there, I guess, that kind of grips down on the carbon bar that's in the wing, and that holds both wings on, and it does a very good job. I love the implementation of that. It's very nicely done. So each time I go to the field, I can take the wing apart, and it really easily fits in my car. I've done this maybe like 4 or 5 times now, and I haven't noticed any like wear on that or anything, so maybe you can't do that infinitely, but it's doing okay for me so far. Included is a 29mm brushless motor. It's got enough power to get this thing in the air pretty quickly, but it's not going to do a vertical climb like the Vista glider that we reviewed a few weeks ago. It does have a lot of kick, but it's a glider and it's a very docile flyer. You really shouldn't be pulling any loops or barrel rolls or anything like that with this, even though it has the ailerons and stuff. That just gives you better control while you're flying the plane itself. It's not a power-hungry plane, and it's not going to set any huge records, but for the price point, for $90, I'm loving this thing. Again, it comes with everything. 4 micro servos for all of your push rods and control throws and everything. Actually, I say how much I like Dean's, but I've been experimenting a lot with Tower Hobby's Star plugs because they're very similar to Dean's, and I put one of those in here and I like it so far. Why do I like it? Because I don't have to put heat shrink on my wire. It has a nice little, if you're unfamiliar with Star plugs, it's got a little plastic clip that goes over to the back side of it, and that kind of replaces your heat shrink. I like that a lot. And I haven't had any annoyances yet with those Star plugs, so I'm going to keep using them and see how it turns out. So Star plugs, I'm a fan of those so far. One modification that I made to the plane itself, you can probably see, well, first of all, I put a Band-Aid on the top of the canopy. I didn't have any tape on the field with me, but I did have a Band-Aid in my toolbox, and I wasn't sure how well it would stay on, because when I was prepping to fly the glider, I noticed that there wasn't much space down here in the canopy for all my wiring. When the battery's in there, the ESC's in there, your receiver's in there, and all the wires, it's pretty tight. And at home, I couldn't really get the canopy to stay on. So I brought the Band-Aid to help hold it on. I didn't want to lose that mid-flight.
That was all we had.
After the fact, yeah, please send us tape.
Share video.
We just have Band-Aids to hold our stuff together. Isn't that sad? So what I recommend, if you guys, first of all, I really love this glider. Absolutely love it. I like it because it cuts through the air really quickly, but it's also very docile and very peaceful to fly. I really like how it flies. But I did have to make one modification, and I recommend that you do it too when you pick yours up. I just used a pocket knife and I cut a hole into the foam of my canopy here, the bottom portion. Aesthetically it doesn't look as nice, but I can very comfortably fit all my wires and things in here now. I punched my receiver up through here, just loosely putting it in here, and I kind of wedge my wires in here into the canopy, and that clears up a lot of space for my battery and my ESC inside where all of that is supposed to go. It makes a big difference, and I think that you should modify yours to do that too. Just take advantage of that space and it'll fit in there much better. So what I used to fly this, because this is a fairly cheap, a very, very nice quality, affordable plane, I think that if a person were getting this, they either already have a universal transmitter or they're looking into maybe getting their first 4-channel RC plane. I think this would be a great first 4-channel RC plane because it's very large, it's easy to see its movements, and it's a good price point. Very durable too. So I wanted to try a Tower Hobbies 4-channel transmitter, kind of a budget transmitter. This is a $50 transmitter that does come with one receiver. It has one model memory, full trim functionality, but there's no display screen or anything. It's 2.4 gigahertz, comes with a lanyard that I have attached to it. It's really nice, but it's just kind of, as I said, a budget transmitter. So you're either, as I said, you're going to get a if you already have a universal transmitter and you're wanting to add more planes to that, pick up another receiver and then go fly this thing. Or this might be your first hobby grade RC and you're looking to get into things and you're looking at budget transmitters. So I wanted to try it out to see how this flew, and it was amazing. This flew just as well with this Tower Hobbies transmitter and receiver as it did with the Tactic setup that I have, though I really like the Tactic. I just wanted to give this a shot. The only other thing really to talk about is just the flight performance of it, a bit more specifically, because it did fly it just flew really well. I just really enjoyed it. I had to trim it a tiny bit the first flight. I was getting a bit too much bank from my ailerons. Once I trimmed that, I think it was to the right, it just flew so well. I'd fly it up, I'd cut the power, and then just cut through the air, flying back down slowly. And I didn't have perfect flight conditions, but with that low 1200 milliamp LiPo battery, I got about 18-minute flight times.
When do you ever have perfect flight conditions?
Exactly, I know.
Never.
That's right, but
At least not here.
Not here, not in this part of Kentucky. So my favorite features about the glider, by far the price. $90 for something that's receiver ready. If you already have this stuff,
Your wife will like it too.
yeah, you can throw all your existing gear into this and take off for 90 bucks and fly for a good summer or multiple years with this thing and just have a good time with that price point. $90, I love it. For that size of a glider too, is great.
It's huge!
And it's supported
It's
by a
bigger
good
than
company.
this.
It's Tower Hobbies, so I love that. I like the unique look of this. I love the elevated elevator, and I really love the curved up wing tips on both ends of the wing. It's just a very sleek glider. I mean, it's not going to set any records. You know, you're paying $90 for it, but for $90, I feel like this is a really good value. I just really like it. I don't worry while I'm flying it because of the price point. If something happens to it, it's $90. You know, I'm not gonna go wreck $500, $1,000, multiple thousands of dollars. This flies just as good as way more expensive planes that I have flown, and that's why I really like it. Things that I don't like to remember, I think the only thing that I don't like was the lack of space in the canopy there. It was just too tight. I just felt like I was going to eventually, this would pop off mid-flight and I'd lose it. Maybe my battery would fall out and it'd crash. So easy fix, cut a little hole in the foam there and create more space for yourself, and you more than double your real estate in there. So it's not that big of a deal, but that is probably the only negative I have to say about it. It's such a good looking plane, and the decals look nice when they're on. I really like this. It's 4 channels, it's a great price.
The ASW28.
Yes, ST models, ASW28. I'm going to take a deeper look into the ST models because I like this one so much, and maybe I'll pop up with another ST models plane on the channel, but I like them a lot and I want to see more of them. This is a bit of an older thing, been around for a little while now, but I think it needs a breath of fresh air, and you guys pick it up, take a couple pictures out on the field and send it our way on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I'd love to see your pictures of this out on the field. It's 90 bucks. Stop by, pick one up. Tower Hobbies has sales all the time. You might even be able to get this for a bit cheaper. This is a big, big thumbs up from me. I highly recommend it for anyone that's into foam planes and gliders. You really should get this and have a little fun with it. Batteries, parts, things are super cheap for it. Have some fun. Mod it up, get some cool designs going, and let's see your stuff over on Facebook. I love this thing. Think you guys should try it out. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye!